Hey there, Bruce. Welcome back to Chapter 3 of Scarlet Hollow. I'm excited to get back in, so let's not waste any time, shall we? It looks like everyone else, especially since, the last time we did the recap, it looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike this man. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Bruce. Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Janie mentioned you this morning. That woman is the light of my life. I'm so glad that she's there to help your cousin through this rough patch. Hey, do you know anything about ghosts? Ghosts? I've never encountered one myself, but I've heard stories of folks who have been visited by their loved ones from beyond the grave, and it seems like it provides them with a sort of spiritual healing. When I get that feeling, like their beloved relatives are watching over them, even in death. Is this about Pearl Ann or perhaps your mother? Have you been visited by it? No, Oscar's place is haunted. Oh, like a Scooby-Doo episode or something? I'm afraid I don't buy into that particular notion. It's a bit too spiritualist. Now, if it were a version of one of his parents trying to contact him from heaven, I could understand that. It isn't. But I simply don't believe in malicious spirits lingering neither in heaven nor hell, jumping out of closets to scare us. I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for whatever it is he saw. There were ghosts in the mines last night. Really? Are you sure you weren't just seeing something normal? Trauma has a funny way of manifesting itself. You mentioned Pearl Ann being in a better place earlier. I doubt it's a better place. It sounds like she was awful. Oh, I'm sure she wasn't that bad. Most people are good, deep down inside. I'm not sure that's true, but okay. It's best not to speak ill of the dead. Back off, preacher man. I should go. It was nice meeting you, though. Of course, and if you find yourself in need of counseling or spiritual guidance, you know where to find me. I'm not really religious. There's no need to have a religious background. Counseling is much more about giving people an opportunity to be heard. I'm not going to try and convert you or anything. I just want to help support the fine folks of this community and their families in any way I can. Why are we compelled to dislike him? And that includes you. No pressure, of course, but if you feel like you're struggling and could use a good listener, you know where to find me. It was lovely to meet you and have a blessed day, Bruce. The pastor leaves you. He leaves you be and joins the line to see the mayor. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. Go after them. I heard from Bruce what happened. Oscar, I'm so sorry. Poor Rosalina, I can't even imagine how scary this has been for her. She seems in high spirits right now, but they've got her on some pretty strong pain medication. I'm not sure how she's going to feel when it wears off. And it was the whole foot? Yeah, it's bad, but she's alive. We'll both be able to move on from this. We'll just have to get through the tough parts first. We're here for you, man. Thank you, all of you. Everything feels like it happened so fast. I know our whole lives have changed, but it's taken my mind a little bit to catch up. I feel like such a mess. I hope it isn't keeping me from being the dad that she needs right now. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I better be going. I was only supposed to come pick up a few things, but then the hospital called and there'd been some big bus accident on the highway and they needed the beds, so I have to come pick her up. Even though our house is still haunted and the only place that she can lie down until then is the dirty back room that drove her away in the first place, and Mayor Jimmy Day is happening. Sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed. It's okay, Oscar, we're here to help. Yeah, we're gonna get that ghost. We could always go ahead and do a ghost bust or whatever we're calling it while you're out, and she'll be able to go right back to her old room as soon as she got back. That's probably a good idea, right? If only. But it doesn't come out during the day. So any busting attempts will have to wait until nightfall. I'm still not even sure we can get rid of it at all. I think I'd have to see for myself if it was gone. It managed to trick me a couple of times and I can't handle any more surprises right now. I got every ghost hunting device known to man. You're in good hands, Oscar. Don't worry, Oscar, we'll fix this. Heck yeah, we will. Yeah, whatever this is, we'll get to the bottom of it tonight. Thanks, guys, I really appreciate it. I'm heading out. It should be dark by the time we get back, so I suppose I'll see you all then. Oscar hurries off, car keys jingling as he jogs out the door. Let's head up to Reese's. Maybe we can get him to come ghost hunting with us. Oh no, you're not going to try and get Dr. Kelly to let him leave the house, are you? She'll kick us out for even asking. I wonder if he even knows what happened last night. I don't know how disconnected he is from the news around town. Gee, should we tell him? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe we just play it by ear. Anyway, shall we? Time to go. Should we invite Avery ghost hunting? So I finally met Pastor Daniel. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counselling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds so many. That's all I have to say, really. I met him. He has been met. I have no opinions on the man, at least at this stage. Wow, really? I always thought he makes a memorably skin-crawling first impression. He has a tendency to stick in people's minds for one reason or another, and they're almost never good reasons. The man was grinning through all of my dad's funerals. As far as I'm concerned, he's a ghoul. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it too. The whole town feels the same way. Now that I think about it, he must be pretty lonely. He could look for friends somewhere else. I wonder if the pastor is cursed. I felt something odd when he came up to me, and the way everyone dislikes him seems excessive, unnaturally excessive. I know this is weird coming from me, but not everything in this town has to be spooky for supernatural reasons. Sometimes people just give off bad vibes. Agreed. We're allowed to dislike him even though he hasn't done anything wrong. That we know of. Should we invite Tabitha? I might as well. Fuck it. Do you mind if I invite Tabitha ghost hunting? Please don't. Oh my god, yes. Can you imagine how much fun that would be if she actually shows? Stella, come on. I know you think you have some kind of bond with her, but she's awful. She isn't even nice to you. You just haven't given her a chance. Maybe if she comes along tonight, the two of you will finally get along. No. Okay, I won't invite her. Great, thanks. And if you don't mind, maybe stop trying to involve her in things. I don't want to keep looking over my shoulder expecting to see her grouchy face sneaking up behind me. What about Avery? Oh yeah, totally. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that. I'm sure they get a hoot out of it. Yeah, I can't say that I mind having a calming presence with us tonight. We won't be much help to Oscar if we start jumping at our own shadows. Cool, I'll take some on the way over to Reese's. Head to Reese's. Alright, shall we head out? Might as well. The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. Pieces. You once again find yourself in front of Reese's house. A cold hesitation grips you as the building looms over the hilltop. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? It's too late. The door swings open. Hey. Reese? Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. You must be Bruce, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I got all the Bruce updates. Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip as she tries to get between them. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella, and you brought the dog. Great. Yeah, I thought you might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. The dog stays outside. But it's okay, Stella. We can let her chill at my van for a bit. I'll run the AC and leave her some treats. You know, I always have some of those easy chew dog jerkies stashed away. But we go everywhere together. Do you want to come in or not? Kanika nervously tugs Stella away toward the van. What about you, Bruce? You coming in? I'll wait for Stella and Kanika. Fine. The quiet sets in as you wait for Stella and Kanika to come back from the van. Okay, we're back. Great, let's get this over with. Man, she really likes us, huh? I love being popular. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you've wandered into a real estate showing. So, how can I lend a hand? By sitting down at the table and not puttering around my kitchen. I made sure everything was well done in advance, so the only thing left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner and you can leave my house and go on about your business. I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. We still have time now, right? You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it could be worse than the way I kept my room. Yes, okay. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Cool. We'll just be downstairs. You won't even know we're here. You make your way toward the basement stairs. The basement is what you might expect of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line the edges while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mum is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourself comfortable. You'll need to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. I noticed. So Stella told you everything that's happened the past couple of days? Oh, she told me about what you guys found out there. I wish I could see some for myself, but you know. He gestures in futility toward the walls of the basement. Are you sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? The doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick. You know that. I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to. There's nothing to apologize for, and I appreciate the effort, really, I do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die's already been cast. But we're talking about the past couple of days, aren't we? Do you have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they look like something out of your nightmares? Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. He pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in the room. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does it mean they've been lurking around here, though? I don't know. But I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. Agree to disagree with you there. Those things are going to be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. Yeah, they're pretty dangerous. What do you think's going on with Wayne? Who? You know, that guy's been following Bruce around, being all ominous. Oh yeah, that slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he has going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look, for all our sakes. Yeah, I don't think I appreciate the fact that someone like Jason Voorhees is following me around. Do you think the town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point, but I guess that's answering a different question. Yeah, bit nihilistic, my dude. Wasn't hoping for that right now. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not. But it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. They could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. I would totally tell you if there was a riot. Would Dr. Kelly tell you, though? I mean, yeah, I hope so, but the point I'm trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. I don't want to talk about my cousin right now. You decided to leave it at that. What are you sick with? Sorry, Reese. Bruce is pretty direct. We don't have to talk about your illness, Reese. That's okay, I've come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. You're so macabre, Reese. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. You haven't, right? Not exactly. No one really knows what's wrong with me, but it's been getting worse. I can barely keep most food down. My skin always itches like there are worms crawling underneath it. I could live for a long time or a short time. No one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. So I've done my morning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable, but one day I'll wind up in a pine box just like everyone else. And I'm okay with that. Dang, Reese. I may be a goth, but that's some real nihilistic shit. You're not a goth, you're a hipster. We'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Thanks, guys. You really shouldn't worry about me. I have my art. I'm doing fine, really. You can't say you're a goth just because you dress in black. I dress in black. I'm not a fucking goth. Surely there must be something the doctors can do for you. Even if it's just helping you deal with the symptoms. The doc upstairs has consulted with a lot of specialists. I've tried a lot of medications. Sure, some have been able to alleviate symptoms, but they always come with their own fun side effects. I wound up being a question of picking which set of discomforts I wanted to deal with. I settled on constant nausea and vomiting, and a persistent itch that I can't scratch. It's manageable. As long as I can still paint, I don't care. And hey, it isn't all bad. Some of it's just weird, like this. Reese pulls the skin of his arm. It stretches unnaturally. Hyperelasticity. Kinda cool, right? Whoa. Does that not hurt? Nope, feels fine. Like I said, it gets itchy under the skin sometimes, but I don't know if that's the elasticity, the medicine, or some other part of my condition. Cool. Man, we got a lot to ask him about. Wanna go ghost hunting with us tonight? Wanna go play ghosts? Oh, wow. Do you think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along. That'd be so amazing, but I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking to town is enough to put me in bed for weeks. It sucks. But make sure you bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. Your mum is scary. I feel like she used to be less scary, but maybe I was just oblivious as a teen. Speak for yourself. It's possible she's gotten a bit of an edge lately. I think my condition has been stressing her out a lot. It used to be something that she thought she could fix, but I think she's kind of accepted that it's just something we have to manage. But even if she is a little harsh, she means well. She just looks out for me. She's kind of hot. I'm gonna leave it at that. Can we eat dinner now? So you three go way back, huh? Almost to the womb. The school here is a tiny K-12. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. They just happened to be born around the same time as some real jerks and were stuck with them through their whole school career. Poor kids. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks like a certain Scarlet I could name. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when you got past that. Maybe to you. The way she used to look at me, you'd think I'd rolled in something foul every morning before school. Same here. Though to be fair, the feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it though. I assume you mean my cousin, right? Your art? Each piece exudes a sickening miasma. Is that a compliment? It's like you can feel something squirming beneath the paint, the brushstrokes acting as steel bars, trapping some anguished being within. I feel the emotions you put into these. They're writhing, just behind the paint, radiating pain and anguish. I know what you mean. I feel it too. When I'm working on them, it's like I'm channeling whatever's plaguing me into the paint, and when they're done, I feel like I've been emptied out, and all the vile things inside of me have been sealed away in the canvas. That's why I make so many of them. Sometimes when I return to a piece, it's almost like I'm offering an invitation for those feelings to slither back into my skin. There are some pieces I just can't even look at. I hide them until I forget they exist. I'd rather not let those particular feelings back in. So it's kind of like therapy. That seems healthy. Probably. Yeah, art therapy. Sounds like it does you good. Being empty must be better than being full of bad thoughts, right? I think so. It works for me at least. It's quite the movie collection you've got. Got any recommendations? Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shi-no-Chi, Death Blood? I saw that the first time recently and it blew me away. Excellent example of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. Maybe we could do a movie night later this week. Is your mum gonna let us? I don't see why she wouldn't. It's just a movie. Oh my god, yes! We haven't had a movie night in years. Cool. Dinner's gotta be ready by now, right? Almost on cue, Reese's mum shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table. Guess that's it for catching up. Make sure you wash your hands. With soap. I don't want any sharing their germs at the dinner table. Sure thing, Doc. No use saying anything here. It's probably best to just silently comply. You make your way toward the sink, but you're stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you've accidentally wandered into a hospital waiting room. But more than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it, something dark and cold. You felt this before, in the dusty tunnels you so narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum, like a muted scream heard through layers of rock, trying to draw you towards it. You feel lightheaded. You're compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. Something wants you to find it. Wait, what was that? I kind of want to open the door though. Am I going to die? I'm going to save. I feel like I'm going to die. Open the door. Before you know it, the doorknob is turning in your hand, your heart full of both deep dread and compulsive need to know what might be on the other side. What do you think you're doing? Well, a dark presence lies beyond this door. Can't you feel it? That's called a draft. There's nothing dark about it. It's just cold air. Now stop being weird and wash your hands already. Everyone's waiting on you. Return to the door. You won't let her interrupt you. You need to know what's behind this door. Oh no, you don't. Come on. Wash your hands and sit down. She grabs you by the shoulder, yanking you away. You do as she says, cleaning under her watchful eye and allowing yourself to be ushered back to the table and away from the door. Man, I just wanted to open the door. Dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense. His shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite you, at the far end of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun in the window behind her. Pills. She slides a few tablets toward Reese. He obediently swallows them. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? No, it's from a jar. I worked too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Well, you have excellent taste and brands, and if you ever want any tips on easy home-cooked pasta sauces, you know No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. I don't think saying that's a good idea. I saw a video online about a family like yours. Turns out the mum was poisoning her kid for 18 years. Small talk? Lie. The food's really good. Is it not good then? Thanks for putting this together, Dr. Kelly. I don't usually have to cook for so many people. I'm just glad there's enough for everyone. It reminded me of what it used to be like when these two would come over, hungry teenagers, eating me out of house and home. I should have charged your parents for all the food you kids went through, honestly. It was like I was running a restaurant, not a doctor's office. Why didn't you want me poking around the clinic? You seemed awfully guarded about me checking out that door. Because it's closed. Doctors don't usually let people wander around their clinics. Of course, Dr. Kelly, we would never... I'm sure Bruce is just joking, right, Bruce? You know, I can't say I ever felt drawn to the place before, but the secrecy is starting to make it feel awfully compelling. Stella, don't you think of getting any ideas from Bruce? No one is playing hide and seek in my private offices. Not today, not ever. But Bruce, she doesn't need any more bad influences. Yeah, but what if it's haunted? This place was built out of an old Civil War hospital, right? It was a TB clinic too. Double haunted. I can't believe I never went ghost hunting here. Are you sure you don't want us to check it out? We have a whole bunch of extra experience after tonight. It's not haunted, now drop it. What was Stella and Kanika like as kids? Noisy and messy, like all kids. And they always had those little projects, videos or crafts or animal rescues, whatever it was that captured their imaginations that week. So like I said, noisy and messy. Didn't we bring a dead squirrel into your house once? Oh god, not the squirrel. I remember that squirrel. Didn't you think the doc could Frankenstein it back to life or something? I was like 12. I was very susceptible to what I saw in the media and very sad about that squirrel. That's one of those things that keeps me up at night. I still feel guilty about bringing that thing into your house, Dr. Kelly. I'm just glad you didn't make it a habit. How well do you know Tabitha? Well, let's go with that. Not very. I know her a lot better if your family didn't seem to be so afraid of doctors. I can count on one hand the number of times she's been in my office. No wonder everyone but that old Edwardine died so young. Hopefully your mother was better about taking you to doctor visits. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something genetic at play, and it's much better to catch these things early. About Reese? It must break your heart having to isolate your son from the world like this. It's just another unfortunate side effect of his illness. Both of us have just had to come to terms with it. It's not the life I wanted for him, but it's the life he has to lead. Maybe he doesn't have to. Ow, geez, Kanika, your boots are heavy. Sorry, Dr. Kelly, we're totally respectful of Reese's boundaries, even though they might seem a little arbitrary and strict. Isn't that right, Stella? You can kick me all you like. It won't change my bold attitude and outgoing personality. You know, Doc, I feel pretty okay. I don't think having people over is all that rough on me. We'll see how you feel in an hour. Reese is a talented artist. You must be very proud of him. He has a lot of skill honed through practice and dedication. I can't say I understand a lot of his pieces, but of course I'm proud. Thanks, Doc. What exactly does he have? He has a combination of genetic diseases that gave him a fragile immune system, among other things. It's too much to get into, a lot of technical terms that I'd have to explain. It's not good dinner talk, and it can't be pleasant for him to have to hear it again, so let's drop it. I'm fine talking about it. I'd rather we talk about something else. Does no one in this town have two parents? Dr. Kelly's glare intensifies. Small towns are full of drama. People meet when they're young and reckless, and it doesn't always work out long term. Plus, these hills are dangerous, and the job's even more so. Things happen. Not everyone gets some fairy tale ending. You can find happy endings anywhere, though. It doesn't have to be perfect, but people can still be happy even if bad things happen to them. I guess living in denial is a kind of happiness, sure. Fucking rude. The danger? Have the police contacted you about Duke's body yet? Last I heard, they still haven't found it. Body? I was under the impression he was just missing. No, Duke, he definitely died. I saw the footage. And I saw it for myself in person. So did Bruce. He's not missing. How the hell did that happen? Stella said it was one of those things in the woods. The ditchlings. They made him misfire. Ditchlings? Oh, I see. This was for one of your videos, huh? Reese, you should know better than to lend any credence to Stella's little cryptozoology stories. I don't doubt that something happened to him, but I'm sure there were no little girls involved. I've seen them, Mum, outside my windows at night. They're real. You don't have to talk to me like I'm a kid. I might be sick, but I'm still capable of reason, okay? Are you sure they aren't just raccoons? Or Stop doubting everything I say. Stop trying to rewrite things if I tell you to fit what you think should be true. There's weird shit going down in Scarlet Hollow. Aside from Reese's mum staring down the table, no one makes eye contact with anyone else. Has anyone come in suffering from hallucinations? I'm not at liberty to discuss private medical information. Are you sure? Not even a little bit? It could help our investigation into the strange goings-ons. It's not like you have to name names. Investigation into what? The mine collapse? The little ghouls? I think it's best left to professionals, Stella, not someone who runs around the woods with a camcorder. Judging by the police response so far, Dr. Kelly, I don't think it is. We saw some stuff down in the mines last night that I struggled to explain. Maybe if we knew if there were any miners suffering from hallucinations, we could just rule that out as a gas leak, but you were in the abandoned mine. The chances that you were huffing something dangerous and hallucinatory are through the roof. Leave it at that and treat it as a tragic accident it was, not like some kind of mystery to unravel. Do you know Sam Wayne? Sam Wayne? Dr. Kelly takes a moment to think. No, it doesn't ring a bell. Someone you know? Someone who's been following Bruce around. Super mysterious guy. We have reason to believe he might have caught some kind of weird illness at the mines. He definitely looks like he could use medical help, so please let us know if he shows up or anything. If there's someone harassing you, you should get the police involved. This isn't any of my business. Have there been any strange illnesses spreading around town? What? No. Are you sure you haven't met with any miners who had unusual symptoms? Anyone who seemed sort of drippy or strangely ominous when they talked? Sorry to pry, just doing my due diligence. Absolutely not. I've barely seen so much as a runny nose, which is a good thing. If you're so concerned about the mine, why don't you just have Bruce ask Tabitha? I have no interest in violating HIPAA for your weird little investigation into nothing. Alright, I'm sick animals. Have you seen any sick animals lately? I'm a doctor, not a vet. Didn't someone come in with a sick cow last week? Yes, but it's not like I examined the thing. I told them what I told you and sent them on their way. You said it had lumps. Sure it had lumps, but I assumed it was suffering from some cow disease. It's not something I've done much research on. I don't know how normal it is for a cow to be covered in lumps. Doesn't that sound like ditchlings? Are no farm animals safe from their devious clutches? Dr. Kelly, in Stella's footage, it looked like something was pupating inside one of the Duke's chickens. I bet those were the lumps on the cow. You really should have taken a look. You could have made discoveries previously unknown to the scientific world. Or I could have spread some new horrible disease to my chronically ill son. I'll leave these discoveries to someone else. The more you talk, the less you feel like you're having a conversation, and the more you feel like you're treading on eggshells. Can we go now? You remain silent, quietly picking at store-bought spaghetti and dinner rolls. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week, while Bruce is still in town? We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, well, just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like it's ever going to change. I'm sick every day and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend my last few miserable years of life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sakes. I can't believe I have to ask permission from my mum to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Damn it, I knew it. I knew this would be too much. Everyone, get out of my house. Please, just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with his life. All it does is hurt him more. But we can't just leave him like this. Now is when he needs his friends the most. Now is when he needs me the most. I'm his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him. I know that. And he knows it too. But all any of you would do is get in the way. Just leave. Please. Don't think we don't know something's up here. He seemed fine before dinner. It always comes in waves, and I can show you that right now, he's very much not fine. Now leave. The three of you are rushed to the door. We'll be back, Reese. I hope you feel better soon. And with that, we need to wrap this episode up, because we're out of time for today. But that didn't go exceptionally well. I really don't like it. Actually, I don't like many people in this town. Most people are pretty rude. I don't think small towns usually like this. At least the small town I live in isn't like this. People are generally friendly, for the most part. Anyway, we'll leave it there, and tomorrow we'll be back for more Scarlet Hollow. Maybe we'll get to do the ghost hunt. That'd be nice. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, Bruce.